Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Will you please start with a roll call, please?
Council President McGurven.
Here.
Councilmember O'Halloran.
Here.
Councilmember Rivera.
Here.
Councilmember Albertson.
Here.
Councilmember Vaughn.
Here.
Councilmember Perez.
Here.
Councilmember Prince.
Here.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor, all present.
All right, thank you. Tonight, we're going to start off with two proclamations, and the first is National Public Works Week.
All right, proclamation, whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure and services that are vital and important to a sustainable and resilient community, public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Renton. And whereas such infrastructure and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public work professionals who are engineers, airport professionals, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, maintaining, improving, operating, and protecting our city's mobility, transportation networks, pipe utilities, solid waste systems, airport, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our residents. And whereas it is in the public interest for the residents, civic leaders, and children of Renton to gain knowledge and to maintain a progressive interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in our community. And whereas 2022 marks the 62nd annual National Public Works Week, Stronger Together, sponsored by the American Public Works Association, whose team challenges our residents and employees to think about the role public works plays in creating a great place to live. Now, therefore, I, Armando Pavoni, Mayor of the, do hereby proclaim May 15th through 21st, 2022 as National Public Works Week in the city of Renton. And I encourage all residents to recognize the contributions public works professionals make every day to protect our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. And witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Renton to be affixed the 16th day of May, 2022, signed Armando Pavoni, Mayor of the city of Renton.
Mayor,
Yes, Council President McGurven.
I move that the proclamation be adopted as read.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Council President McGurven, seconded by Councilmember Prince, that the proclamation be adopted as read. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, motion carries. And tonight, to accept the proclamation, we have our own Martin Pastusha. Good
Good
evening.
evening. Good evening, Mayor Pavone, Council President McGurven, and members of the City Council. On behalf of the 200 professionals who work in the Public Works Department to operate, maintain, and construct our essential public infrastructure, and who respond to system failure and weather emergencies 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for the benefit of the community, I thank you for recognizing these professionals and happily accept this proclamation on their behalf.
All right, thank you very much. And the one time we really notice the Public Works Department is when it snows. It seems like everybody recognizes the hard work they do on those snow days. So thank you very much. All right, next up is the Asian American, Native, Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
All right, proclamation, whereas we want to recognize the contributions and influence of Asian Americans and Pacific Islander Americans to the history, culture, and achievements of the United States. And whereas the Asian American and Pacific Islander community continues to make valuable contributions to all areas of life in Renton, including government, business, arts and sciences, medicine, education, and law enforcement. And whereas organizations like Asian Pacific Directors Coalition, APDC, were formed to influence and advocate for policies, systems, and investments for the benefit of the AANHPI community and other communities of color. And whereas as we celebrate the achievements and contributions of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders that enrich our history, society, and culture, we must also acknowledge the challenges and struggles of the AANHPI experience in America, including structural discrimination, prejudice, and injustice. And whereas Renton, one of the most multicultural cities in the area and home to people from all over the world, prides itself on being a city where people of all faiths and cultures are welcomed, respected, and able to live in harmony with each other. And whereas today, more than 20 million Asian American and Pacific Islanders live in the United States, and through their actions, make America a more vibrant, prosperous, and secure nation. Now therefore, I, Armando Pavoni, Mayor of the City of Renton, do hereby proclaim May 2022 to be Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month in the City of Renton, and I encourage all members of the community to join me in the special observation and witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Renton to be affixed the 16th day of May 2022, signed Armando Pavoni, Mayor of the City of Renton.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Van.
I move that the proclamation be adopted as read.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Van, seconded by Council President McGurven, that the proclamation be adopted as read. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, motion carries. And tonight, to accept the proclamation, we have Brian Doe.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I don't see Brian in attendance tonight.
Okay, well, unfortunately, Brian couldn't be with us tonight.
Do you see him in with a different name? Because he said he had trouble last time getting in as well.
I don't see anyone here that could be a different name.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, next up is the administrative report.
All right, good evening, everyone. On May 4th, the King County Library System, KCLS, cleared late fines for all patrons with a new initiative called a Fresh Start for All. This one-time waiver gives patrons a fresh start on their account and enables access to all KCLS materials. A Fresh Start for All was approved by the KCLS Board of Trustees on April 27th, 2022. KCLS will return to pre-pandemic circulation practices on September 15th and will start assessing late fines again at that time. After their accounts have been cleared on May 4th, patrons will have until September 15th to return items before late fines resume. Information about preventative street maintenance, traffic impact projects, and road closures happening this week can be found at rentonlaw.gov/traffic. All projects are weather permitting, and unless otherwise noted, streets will always remain open.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll open up the remote audience comment period. It remains the strong intent of the city to have public comment regularly included on our agendas. Each speaker will be given 5 minutes to speak. You'll be called upon by a city staff member. The staff member will call the speaker's name and unmute the appropriate microphone, which will send an automatic prompt to the speaker of, "You have been unmuted." This is the speaker's cue that it's their turn to speak. Please begin your comments by stating your name, city of residence, and the topic you're addressing. Speakers should be able to see a timer on the screen. Please finish up your comments when you see the time is close to expired. And tonight we have one person signed up to speak.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
that person is Imani Artis. However, Imani is not in attendance tonight.
Okay.
And that is all I have.
All right. Thank you. Next up, we're moving on to the consent agenda. There are 5 items. Are there any items that council would like to pull for separate consideration?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Council President McGurven.
seeing none, I move approval of the consent agenda as published.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Council President McGurven, second by Councilor Prince, that the consent agenda be approved as published. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. We are on to unfinished business. Council President McGurven.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember O'Halloran.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Rivera.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Alverson.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the Utilities Committee has one report to present.
Okay, Utilities Committee report amendment to the contract with Otac Incorporated for the Monroe Avenue Northeast Storm Improvement Project. The Utilities Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve amendment number 4 to contract 19313 with Otac Incorporated in the amount of $1,145,100 for Phase 3 design services for the Monroe Avenue Northeast Storm Improvement Project.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Alverson.
I move the council concur with Utilities Committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Alverson, second by Councilmember Rivera, that the council concur with the Utility Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, motion carries. Councilmember Van.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Transportation Committee has 2 committee reports.
The Transportation Aviation Committee, the first report is an agreement with MIG Incorporated for preliminary and final design services for the Renton Connector project. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve the professional services agreement with MIG Incorporated to provide preliminary and final design services totaling $1,244,283.67 for the Renton Connector project.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Van.
yes, I move that council concur with the Transportation Committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Vance, second by Councilmember Prince, that the council concur with the Transportation Committee reports. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay, the final report from the Transportation Committee is regarding closeout for the RCNW 2021 runway PCC panel repair project. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve the closeout of contract 21-184 with Road Construction Northwest Incorporated for a final payment of $47,201.97 for the 2021 runway PCC panel repair project.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Van.
I move that council concur with the Transportation Committee report.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Vance, second by Councilmember Prince, that the council concur with the Transportation Committee report. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Councilmember Perez.
No new business, Mr. Mayor. No finished business, Mr. Mayor. I'm sorry.
Councilmember Prince.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
All right, and we have no legislation tonight, so we're going to move on to new business and go back around the horn. Council President McGurven.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the committee of the whole will be meeting on Monday, May 23rd at 5:45 PM. And there's just one item on the agenda, and that is the Clean Economy Strategy 2.0 update. And then we will convene our regular council meeting at 7 PM via video conference. And that's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember O'Halloran.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. On May the 23rd, Monday at 3:15 PM, the Finance Committee will be meeting via video conference. Please bear with me as we have 9 items on the agenda. The first is the WashDOT agreement for the Bronson Way Bridge seismic retrofit and painting project. The second is Public Works Department reorganization to establish the Sustainability and Solid Waste Division. Third is a utility bill leak adjustment request for 2801 Sunset Boulevard LLC. Fourth, we have another utility bill leak adjustment request for M2 Renton LLC. Fifth, Port of Seattle's Economic Development Support Program grant. Sixth is the Springbrook Creek Wetlands Mitigation Bank Credit Sale Agreement. Seventh is a new hire step approval process, 8 vouchers, and 9 emerging issues in finance. And that is all, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Councilmember Rivera.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Thank you. Councilmember Alverson.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Van.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Perez.
As I said before, no new business, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Prince.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to compete with finance, but I will muddle my way through. On Monday, May 23rd at 4:30 PM, the Planning and Development Committee will be meeting by video conference. We have 3 items on the agenda. The first is retail pet sales. That is a briefing. The second is docket 17 briefing. And the third is emerging issues in CED. And that's all.
All right. Thank you. And what is the wish of the council?
Move the adjourn.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Prince, seconded by Council President McGurven, that we adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody want to stick around, say nay? Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you all.